What's up? What's up? What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Michael Balco Show. Today, I am joined by a safety from Boston College, a former five-star recruit from St. John Bosco, and a 2023 NFL draft prospect, the one, the only, Jaiden Woodbey. How we doing, brother?
Yeah, pretty good. How about you?
Blessed and highly favored, as always. So first and foremost, we got to rep the area code. Tell us about your hometown and what makes it so unique.
Fontana, California. Inland Empire. A lot of great athletes, especially in the NFL right now, are from the IE. And I think over these next couple of years, there will be an influx of us, going to the NFL. So, it's exciting and it's unique. I feel like we offer a lot of talent. And I think like around now, you know, people are starting to realize, oh, like these kids aren't from LA. They're from the West Coast, but they're not from LA. They're from the Inland Empire. And there's a difference between LA and the IE.
Yeah, nice, nice. So we're gonna take it back to your high school days real quick. Five-star DB. You were viewed as one of the hardest hitters in high school, number 27 overall prospect in the country, U.S. Army All-American, Under Armour All-American, a bunch of other stuff as well. How did you, at such a young age, set yourself apart from all the other talent in high school?
I mean, really just working. I've always worked from the ground up. I wasn't just given, the overall 27th ranked in high school just because, like, I had to work and I had to prove and I had to overcome a lot of adversity and a lot of politics. And I think that just goes to prove my story. Like, no matter what, I'm resilient. No matter what obstacle is in my way, I'm resilient. No matter how I get there, I'm going to be resilient and I'm going to be successful no matter what I do. I went from not even being ranked, not even having any offers like my sophomore year to just me blowing up my junior year. So it's just a waiting game for me. And, I just know, you know, the hard work is always going to pay off and the cream always rises to the top no matter what.
Yeah. What is one thing that you would say, at the high school level that could really, help people set themselves apart? So like, a lot of dudes I've spoken to, they'll say it's in the weight room. A lot of people will say it's academics, putting in extra work after practice. What would you say is at the high school level that key to really, setting yourself apart and helping you get some offers?
I think it's an accumulation of everything. Making sure that your schoolwork is done. Like regardless of if you like school or not, it's going to be a part of your life for high school and for college. Like until somebody finds a way for it not to be, it's going to be. So it's gonna have to be something that you have to work with. And at the end of the day, like just making sure you get your assignments done, that's key. Making sure you get your assignments done on the football field, that's key as well. School might not be something that you want to do, but you have to make sure that you do it in order to do the things that you love. So just looking at it from a more mature aspect. And then the other major thing is, yes, make sure that, you do your extra work after practice, all of those things. But I would say make sure that you find like an actual position coach as well, like to help you, master your craft. Cause that's what will separate you as well, and then just extra work. Like you'll be surprised at how far that goes. Like high school you can get away with talent, college you can get away with talent, but like this next level that I'm going to, the NFL, like you can't get away with talent because everybody's talented. So like what are you gonna do to separate yourself from everybody? Like everybody was that five-star, that top recruit or their best athlete, whether it be high school or college. So it's like, what are you gonna do now to separate yourself? So having that mindset from high school is gonna help you go a long way.
Yeah, most definitely. I think you broke it down perfectly. Whenever you watch film as a defensive player in general, but more specifically as a DB/linebacker, what do you look for?
The first thing I look for is tendencies. Tendencies are gonna help you go a long way. After that, you look at who are their main guys. So like, all right, this is their main guy. All right, I'm gonna look at his tendencies, and then after that, when you start looking at it from a broader perspective, then you start breaking it down by down and distance, and then you start breaking it down by situational football, and then you start breaking it down by quarters, and then you start breaking it down like, all right, if it's halftime and they're down by 7, like what's their philosophy? All right, if they're down by 3, what's their philosophy? So now like you're going on the field with somewhat of an idea, and obviously like from high school to college, it's going to be a little different. You might have a little bit more time. So the more film you dissect, the more confident you go into a game. Like you're going to play a lot faster because you know their tendencies. You've been studying them for at least 30, 40 hours plus that whole week. So it's not going to be too much film because now you just know everything like the back of your hand. So that's my mindset as a DB.
Dude, I love it too because I don't think I've ever talked to anybody that ever said that they actually watch film on what people do in certain situations. I think you're the first one to say that. So that's dope. That's dope. That's really good information too for like all you high schoolers out there listening. Like that's huge. You always want to be as well prepared as possible. As our boy Jaiden said, watch what they do when they're down by 10. Are they going to force that ball down the field? So you a DB, go get that thing, So like I said, 5-star DB out of high school. Number 27 overall prospect. So you had offers from all over the place. You wound up choosing Florida State over Ohio State, Oklahoma, and USC. What was that initial attraction for you to Florida State?
I mean, honestly, that was my brother's favorite school, so I was really just waiting on that offer. Like me being the kid that I was, it really didn't matter what school I went to. Like as long as I went to a school that played good competition, that was all that really mattered to me. But I was really just waiting on the FSU offer for like 4 years, and then when I finally got it, so I went. So it wasn't like something like super major. It was just like, oh, he just wanted to go to that school and he got the offer, so he went.
That's dope. I'm a big Florida State fan too, so that's dope. That's dope. And then a lot of people do that, bro. They just kind of wait and they get that one offer that they've been looking for, and then they get it and then they go. It's dope. You started all 12 games as a true freshman at Florida State. You were named an ESPN freshman All-American. How did it feel to play right away? And what was for you the biggest transition from high school to college football?
I mean, start with the biggest transition, being away from my parents, like that was a major transition. And that was something that I was still struggling with my whole freshman year. Like, even though I was playing, that was still in the back of my mind. Like, I'm away from my family, and I just turned 18. So it's like, I just became, quote unquote, a legal adult, but we all know you're not an adult at 18. So, it was hard from that aspect, but, I had a great support system from my parents and, my coaches back at home. What it felt like to play as a true freshman, I mean, I always expect to play and I always expect to start. Like that's always been my mindset. So I had to work, it wasn't easy. I had to switch positions as well, a position I never really played before, which was outside linebacker. And, I put in the work and I put in the time and the effort. And, like it might have been rough and rugged in the beginning, but at the end it all worked out. Hearing my name in the starting lineup as an 18-year-old freshman at Florida State, like that's uncommon. Like not a lot of people can say that they started all 12 games as a true freshman at, a historic school such as Florida State.
Yeah.
So, just putting my name up there with people like that, it's just, it was a blessing. And, I'm forever grateful for that opportunity. And, just work, like I mentioned before, you got to always start from somewhere. It doesn't matter how you got there. It just matters about what you do when you get there. Mm-hmm. So it really didn't matter how I got in the starting lineup. It just mattered what I did when I got in the starting lineup. My expectation was to be a starting safety, but, I was a starting outside linebacker nickel. And, it was like I was on the field and I was making plays. So that was all that really mattered.
Yeah, you're like the Taysom Hill of the defensive side of the ball, man. You was rushing the passer, you was dropping in coverage, covering receivers, playing a little safety, bro. You was all over the place. So, it's just versatility. Like you said, whatever you got to do to get on the field, you got to do, man. And, I think a lot of people, especially in like high school these days, they don't have that same mindset, and it's just like, they want to play that position that they've played their whole life. And then, it becomes a sticky situation and whatnot, but, you got to get on the field, to make plays. So, you got to do what you got to do. So I love that. After 3 years at Florida State, you entered the transfer portal, head on over to Boston College. What was the transfer process like for you, and what factored into that transfer decision, and why'd you end up at BC?
I mean, it was a lot of teams that reached out as soon as I hit the portal, especially with me being a 3-year starter. They're like, "Why is the 3-year starter leaving?" You know, I really just wanted a new start from injuries and from coaching changes, position changes, and I graduated too. So it's like I wanted to just go somewhere else and just start off fresh. But the reason that I went to BC was because Coach Hafley, like his NFL connections, and then just him as a coach. He's one of the smartest coaches I've ever been around. So I didn't want to pass up on that opportunity.
Yeah, when did you start to get an inkling that you could take your talents to the NFL level? What you're getting ready to do right now. Like what I guess point in college did you realize like, yo, I'm hanging out with these dudes right now. I can take my talents to the next level. When did you personally realize that for yourself?
My freshman year, I was like, like no matter what happens, like I know that I can be at that next level. You
Yeah.
know, so yeah, from a freshman, I've always already knew that.
Yeah. Over the past 2 years at BC, you've racked up 126 tackles, 2 picks, a bunch of other plays, while playing as a hybrid player on defense. So, you play a little bit of safety, a little bit of linebacker, all that. What was your time at Boston College like as a whole for you?
It was definitely different from Tallahassee, but I'm grateful for the experience because I met a lot of good people, met a lot of good connections, and I just learned more about an area that I was never really familiar with. So it was good to actually be out there and just to experience everything. But I think overall, it helped me become a man as well. Like the transition from high school to college, and especially everything that I went through. It just helped me become a man. So I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, most definitely. What was it like playing in that cold?
It was different, but at the same time, like 3/4 of the NFL is in the cold, so you're gonna have to play in it regardless.
So, I'm originally from down south, and then I moved up to Pennsylvania, and so
Mhm.
I understand the difference between playing in the heat and playing in the cold,
Yeah,
and it's a transition, bruh. It's a transition, and
yeah,
I don't think a lot of people that are out there, Cali and down south, realize how big of that transition is, but it's tough, man. But
yeah,
like in your situation, at least you were on the field, all the time for the most part, except for like when the offense was out there. So like, it does help whenever you're on the field as opposed to just, chilling and vibing with the big jackets on. But yeah, man, like you said, 3/4 of the NFL, they playing in the cold, or you're gonna play in the cold at some point, regardless. So I mean, we
yeah,
saw the playoff game a couple weeks ago, and it was snowing. So
yeah,
you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to.
yeah.
So one unsung stat that I admire most about you is your multiple honor roll accolades. So tell us about prioritizing school, why it's so important, and how you juggled both school and football.
I mean, I never thought of school as work. I always thought of it, as just another thing to do. And, I just know how important education is, in my family. So, I made sure that I handled my business in the classroom. Like my dad and my mom used to always tell me, like, boys do what they want to do, but men, they do what they have to do. So, that was always my mindset. Like, no matter what it is, it's like, just because you don't feel like doing it doesn't mean that you don't have to do it. Like a lot of people, they don't want to go to work, but they know that they have to provide for their family. So it's like I knew that just having a great educational background, it's for something in the long run. It might not be something for now, but it's like building that foundation and building that legacy now. It'll carry you a long way.
Yeah, most definitely. So now I got some rapid fire questions for you. So the
All
people who
right.
listen to this show, they know that you don't got to answer them fast, but they're questions that'll help us get to know you a little bit better, especially as you're gearing up for the
Yeah.
draft and getting your own personal brand and all that good stuff. So first one, do you prefer sweet or spicy food?
Mm, I'll say sweet. I like spicy, but I'll say sweet.
All right, all right. What is one incredibly common thing that you have never done?
incredibly common thing that I've never done.
That's tough, man.
Yeah. What incredibly common thing that I've never done?
Like for me personally, like I've never been hunting. Like a ton of people go like
Okay.
hunting and stuff like that, but like I've never been hunting. So like,
Yeah.
what's yours?
Maybe roller skating.
Okay.
Yeah, roller skating.
We
Yeah.
gotta change that. We gotta change that, bro.
Yeah.
Who you bumping to on the pregame playlist?
Ooh, Lil Durk, Lil Wayne, and Rod Wave, and Young Boy.
That's a wild playlist. Like,
Yeah.
hardest hitting safety in the country, bro. All right. What does your perfect breakfast look like?
4 buttermilk pancakes, 4 eggs scrambled soft, 6 slices of turkey bacon, and some hash browns extra crispy.
Dang, I'm about to go whip me up some breakfast real quick. All right, last one. What is one thing on your bucket list that you have yet to accomplish? Going rollerblading.
One thing on my bucket list that I have yet to accomplish. Go on a yacht.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, never been on a yacht.
back to regular scheduled programming. You're currently geared up for the 2023 NFL draft. First of all, how does that feel? And then, what do your days currently look like right now?
I mean, it feels surreal, but also it's a grind, just changing your body, all the type of training that you're doing, it's really, really, really meticulous right now. So like everything that you do is gonna matter, it's gonna count. My days right now consist of, training at 8. Today's an off day, so we have a little later start. But like training from 8 to maybe 10:30, 11, have lunch, watch tape, of you running, of you doing whatever drills, taking notes, learning from it, lifting. After that, might have a little bit more training in the sense of like your starts or, some more position work. And then after that, you do treatment for at least 2 to 3 hours. And then, you'll be done around like 5 or 6. But then it's like you're draining, you're tired. So now it's like, what are you going to do with that free time that you have? So just doing like all of the little things. You have so much time to do all of those little things now. So that's something that's just important during this whole process because it's gonna pay off, in the long run.
Yeah, just like schoolwork, man. You don't want to necessarily do it, but you got to do it to make it be worthwhile in the long haul. Do you have any preference as to where you go and play football?
I like the city of Houston. I like the city of Atlanta. I like the city of Jacksonville, the good part of Jacksonville. I like Arizona.
You like all them warm weather states?
Yeah,
what
all
you're
the
saying?
Sun Belt. The Sun Belt, yeah.
Your team, just knowing that, bro, you're gonna get drafted to like the Bills, dog. Like it's gonna happen.
I know, it's crazy. No, but it's all good though. Like wherever I go, like I'm gonna add instant value to the team right away.
Mm-hmm.
So
most
it
definitely
doesn't really matter.
Most definitely. Tell us about a time you had to overcome adversity, whether it's on the field or off, and how'd you overcome it?
When I injured myself, 2019, had a multi-ligament knee injury. For a brief moment of my life, I thought my football career was over. And it was very devastating. Just the impact of the injury, how severe it was, how fast I had to get surgery. So like from me being the man in football to me not even being able to walk, it was something that was very traumatic and very heartbreaking for me. But at the end of the day, things in life happen. things won't happen the way that you want them to, that still doesn't mean that it won't happen. It might just happen a little different. So, that's how my mindset was, following the injury. And after that, I just said, no matter what, still achieve your goals and still reach them, no matter how you get there. So, that mindset really just took me a long way because, it's not going to always be pretty for people. Some people might get it so very easy, and then some people they might not. And I just knew that my path will be a little bit different and a little bit harder now. So I was able to overcome it, just by having that mindset. At the end of the day, nobody cares. You either do it or you don't. So, I just have to find a way to do it.
Yeah,
and I'm doing it. So yeah.
Yes, sir. We love that. We love that. What are your current plans for the draft? Are you planning on being in attendance? Are you planning on chilling at home with some family? What's your plans?
Yeah, I plan on chilling at home with my fam.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Big party plan, all that good stuff. We love it.
I haven't really thought that far, but I'm just excited to hear my name called.
Yeah, most definitely, bro.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Who is the best player you've ever played with and against?
Best player I've played with, probably Brian Burns.
He's a dog.
Yeah, dog. The best player I've ever played against, Malik Cunningham.
Okay.
Louisville.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think people realize he's an actual dual threat quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He really can beat you with his legs and with his arm. He just chooses which one. And it's one thing to watch it, but to play against it, it's completely different.
Yeah. It's Lamar Jackson-esque, bro. He's that dude, bro.
No, exactly.
He's incredible. What is one piece of advice that you could give to all the listeners?
No matter where you're at in your journey, you're going to experience all types of emotions throughout your journey. And your journey is your journey for a reason. Comparison is the thief of joy. So, everybody's journey and everybody's story is different, but at the end of the day, you got to keep going. You have to keep going. Don't give up. It sounds cliche, but it's so true. A lot of people feel like their dreams aren't going the way that they want them to just because it's not going the way that they had it planned in their head. But that doesn't mean that you're still not going to achieve your goal. A lot of people have to go through adversity in order to reach, the top. And, no matter what, no matter what type of doubt or everything you're feeling, it's just know that, you're capable of doing it.
Yeah, most definitely. I have one last question for you. It's a good one. You got in the Super Bowl this week.
Oh, see, the only reason I want the Chiefs to win is because I want Pat Mahomes to have 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah.
In 6 years, which is crazy.
Some GOAT status right there.
Yeah, but how can you not want the Eagles to win?
That's a good getting ready to go into the NFL answer right there.
Yeah, how could you not want the Eagles to win? After everything that they did this year, it's you kind of want to see them finish it off the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're a good team. 2 really good teams.
I got the Eagles. I got the Eagles by 4 or 5.
I was gonna say, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. It's gonna come down to that last drive of the game, bro. It's gonna be wild.
Yeah.
Jaiden Woodbey, thank you so much for hopping on the show today, brother. We are so excited. I can speak for all the listeners. Super excited to see your journey and how it unfolds. Real quick, where can we follow you at on social media?
Jaiden Woodbey on all platforms. JAIDENWOODBEY.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much for hopping on the show. NFL draft coming up, a couple months here. We're super pumped for you, and can't wait for you to hopefully rock that black and gold. Who dat?
For sure, man. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir.